Jay was hosting at the Cellar, Big J, and I did my spot, and it was recording to do Fallon, and I had my phone on the fire escape part in the cellar. Like I balanced it to just film my set, and every time I try to film a clean set for like TV, it always has been a disaster. Every time, like I never get the fucking clean 5 minutes because it always feels awkward. But I happened to get it. But I was doing this one joke, and there's people in the back I couldn't see. It was dark, and I heard this girl go, "You suck." Okay, but I didn't go at it. I heard it. I just kept doing it. I did some joke, and everybody laughed. And I might have said something like, "See, maybe you suck," or something to that effect. And she said something else, and then I go, "Miss, can I tell you something? You're gorgeous, okay? And that is why you think people want you to talk, but nobody does. They're just lying to you." And somebody behind her goes, "I'll fucking kick your ass." As soon as I said that. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And there's a guy next to me. I'm like, "Oh God." And I was like, does she like get you into fights or something? And he goes, "Whatever, I win fights. Let's go outside."
God.
But I wasn't saying anything or like losing my cool because I had done well. And it wasn't a thing yet. It was still fine.
That's also so mild of a thing to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nothing. So I didn't take in that it was an issue, but this guy was shit hammered. And so I joked a little bit and people were laughing and I thought it was fine. And then Jay came up and I had a like kind of long coat and Jay made some joke that I'm the equalizer. He made fun of my coat. Like it was kind of diffused when I got off. I didn't do anything on stage to fuck it up. The set went fine. It was just that awkwardness. But I just was so curious who yelled it, so I wanted to see. So when I got back to the door, I looked at the table because Jay was like making fun of me back and forth, you know. And I go, "Oh wow, oh I was right. She's a hot bitch." And the girl's like, "Don't call me a bitch." She goes, "Don't call me a bitch." And then I lost my temper then because I was like, "Don't call you a bitch, you fucking crazy bitch. You're the cause of all the problems right now." I didn't say it in my head. I'm like, what I said out loud. I went, "Oh no, I'm calling him a bitch. I'm calling you a cunt." And then the guy jumps up, and I still didn't realize it was anything. I was in my head, I was like, "That's a great line." I swear to you, got him real good. And I just had my head out, and I go, "Hey, I remember saying to Jay, like, Jay, he's getting up." And I had my neck all the way out. And the bouncer, I think the bouncer was Big Steve, who was like reading one of his summer romance novel books instead of bouncing, because the waitress saw it coming, what the bouncers didn't see, and tried to get between us, because she could see the guy was going to do it. I didn't even realize. And had my head like this, and this dude went around her real fast and cupped his hand with boom, and bashed my ear. I heard it pop in my head. I thought it was crazy. I heard it pop and then like a beep, like that ringtone.
Yeah.
Ah,
So by the way, this is all being recorded because my thing's there for Fallon. So then it looks like I'm Frankenstein. Like I grabbed him. You see me march across the screen like this because I grabbed him by the neck and we went like this. And then, so I'm punching him. I grabbed him by his shirt and I'm punching him like that. And then we come back the other way and I ended up on top of him. I was punching him. I mean, I was so mad this motherfucker. I knew he fucking popped my ear.
Yeah.
And they really took a lot of them to take me off of him. He just had like a split lip or whatever. Like I had the real damage, not him. But I did beat him up, and he fucking so then he called him or her, his wife, it turned out to be his wife. She was hot too. She was obnoxious, you could tell. She's just accustomed. She fucking called the cops and said the comedian assaulted my husband. Okay? And I was just standing there after it happened, like I was outside, and Liz manager's like, "You should go to the hospital right now and get your ear looked at, because if the police come, that's a good reason to not be here. Perfectly valid. Go to the one, hospital by you." And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't even going to go to the hospital. I was in like shock. And
Also, by the way, sorry to cut you off, but so freaking annoying that he was like the, "Oh, I beat people up and whatever." And then it's always those people that are so quick to call the cops when they lose the fight.
well, this was pretty quick, and so I jetted, but then the cops got there, and the crowd was outside. The crowd watched the whole thing, so they're like, "No, he fucking attacked the comedian first." So he got arrested. They basically called the cops on him. He got arrested while I was at the hospital, and then yeah, I had like a 50% perforation in my eardrum, and I think I wasn't supposed to talk about it because I had gone to the attorney, the district attorney, and I had to show him like she watched my set. Like it was so awkward. I was like, because I did call her a cunt. Like, I was afraid to even show. She's like, "It doesn't matter if you said that. You can't box your ear because you said anything. They're
Yeah.
not allowed to do that." I'm like, "Okay." So she was laughing at the fucking set. Everybody's phone, by the way, has like clunk clunk from Law and Order. That's like their joke at the district attorney.
Oh,
Every
yeah,
phone
okay.
rang, I was like, clunk, clunk. So then she wanted to take evidence off my phone. Okay. Basically, he had to pay. I didn't sue him or anything. I like Modi, the comic, was like, we wanted me to like do this whole thing. I'm like, I don't pay my bill because it healed. It recovered fully. And fucking, she took me to some audio visual room with this big fucking screen. And I'm like, oh shit, they're going to plug in my camera and have my fucking picture. I'm like, okay, just so you know.
Oh my God.
Like, I did not know my pit. Like, I got all kinds of stuff on here. And they're like, they don't care. But it was hilarious and went up just pictures of fucking
Your big
Karen
penis.
shot in.
Yeah.
I had my dick on my girlfriend's face like a half a Phantom of the Opera mask. Like, I took like joke pictures with my dick with my girlfriend and the other girl that her friend. And that just shows up like. So anyway, whatever. I didn't even have to go to court. Like he got, so a year or two later, when I was at Sirius with Sherrod doing race wars, the cops from that area, the cellar cops, called in. The arresting officers called our show when we were live, and they said they got there basically because they arrested the guy. The girl called the black guy's partner was black, and the girl called him the N-word and took a swing.
Oh my God.
So she also got arrested. Okay.
Nice.
And then they told me that it ended up being that she divorced the guy and then started dating the black cop that she called
Amazing.
the N-word. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Ain't that always the way of it?
I didn't hear it until like 2.5 years later with these guys that we heard on the radio. I was like, it was the craziest thing.
But I would like to know how it got from that point of calling him the N-word to them falling in love.
Dating.
Man, that probably was happening the whole time.
The foreplay. Wow.
She was gushing when she said that terrible slur.